That Man and His Manga.
Hello and welcome to That Man. This is a manga related thing. It's been a while since I've talked manga, but I thought, you know what? Let's do something a little bit different. Let's rank some of the manga publishers' releases. Now, there are a few manga publishers out there, all of which do things a little bit different, yet also very much similar, because nearly all of them release manga. Some of them also release light novels, but we're not going to look at them. Well, maybe we will, but let's have a look and see the different ways and the different designs that manga publishers use, and we'll look at them in terms of size, content, page quality, and the most important one of all, edibility. That's right, let's rank some of these manga releases in terms of quality and what is the most tastiest. Join me and we'll have a look.
But before we get into all of that, if you're new to the channel and love all things manga and collecting, from figures to anime and light novels, do me a favour and subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss out on new weekly videos.
First up, we are going to look at Viz Media, who are pretty much the standard when it comes to these releases. Now, to make things a little bit more fairer when it comes to ranking these, I'm not going to look at the premium products. I'm going to look at the bog standard editions. So we're going to look at the regular editions. We're going to look at the SIG versions. We're not going to look at the ultra hardback or the 500 billion in one releases. We're just going to look at the general ones on the shelf. So we have two kind of versions. Like I said, we have the standard Viz ones. These are the ones that's going to be in pretty much everyone's collection. And you know what? They're pretty okay. We have a very glossy cover that does not like being in the light. And inside, yeah, we have a pretty okay release. One of the things I have noticed with Viz ones, especially on the later releases, is that I do tend to get a lot of ink on my fingers after reading them, especially in these ones. Not so much these ones. They're pretty cheap, they're pretty cheerful. They are essentially the McDonald's of the whole of the industry. They're kind of like, yeah, they do the job. You can tell that they cut a little bit of corners to maximize profits, especially when it comes to the spines. For some people, the most important part of the manga, the bit that you can see on the shelf. And yeah, this one's a pretty okay spine. Some of them are horribly miscut and looking a bit horrible. So we also have the Viz Big ones, which are also very shiny. I call them Viz Big, they're called SIG. This is the SIG line. And as we can see, ooh, yes, that spine is a little bit nasty, isn't it? Yeah, not the best spine in the world. More like my spine, which is practically useless these days. But it's still really nice. I feel like they're a lot bigger. I don't really understand why they're bigger. I feel like the quality on the pages on these are slightly better than these ones, but it's kind of like you can't really tell much of the difference. But I never really understood it. I don't know why there's a particular reason why they have these bigger versions compared to the smaller ones. Obviously, like I said, the pages are a little bit more stretched when it comes to these ones, which are already stretched when it comes to these compared to the Japanese release. But yeah, like I said, the cheap, the cheerful, they're not going to really do anything amazing, and they're not really going to look horrible. Well, unless you get a really horribly cut spine. I would say this is pretty much the standard when it comes to manga releases. But we must ask, how does it taste? Let's try this one, shall we? So it tastes a bit plain. Some really nice tasting parts of this. Some really high, really exquisite. But then there's a bit of a mid aftertaste. There's a lot of mid in here. A lot of like I don't know, how do you call it? It kind of feels like this is a little bit overrated. I don't know. I feel like if somebody recommended me the Viz, I feel like it's a little bit overrated when it comes to some of it. It's not bad. It's just kind of okay. Yeah, like I said, cheerful. Kind of tastes a bit like soggy McDonald's. Yeah, let's go on to another series, shall we? Next up, we have Seven Seas, who, again, they have two variations in what they do. So they have their normal versions, which are just slightly a little bit smaller than the Viz versions, and they have their big, stretched, skinny titles. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie, Seven Seas are pretty good when it comes to the quality of their releases. They're all pretty nice. The quality feels rather nice. I feel the paper quality on these does feel a little bit better than Viz, but again, it doesn't feel like anything kind of like amazing. This one, the paper doesn't feel quite as nice when it comes to the big ones compared to the small ones. However, we do get some colour images, which, let's face it, they're always nice, and we don't get them in the Viz releases. In fact, I don't remember any Viz release that may have had colour images, which is a huge shame. Now, these are a little bit more expensive than Viz ones because, well, let's face it, they go for some more obscure properties. Viz pretty much get anything that's popular when it comes to Shonen Jump and similar stuff. Seven Seas tend to get something a little bit more obscure, however they seem to be getting quite a few interesting releases. Honestly, I really like a lot of Seven Seas releases. Like I said, they all look pretty darn okay. Again, the spines are okay. One thing I do like about Seven Seas is that they're very uniform. I feel like you can put pretty much any Seven Seas title together. I mean, maybe not so much the big ones, but you can put a lot of like their smaller releases together all in a line. And you could have Otako Elf and Kobayashi's Dragon Maid and what have you, Monster Musume or what have you, and they all kind of feel like they fit in line a lot better than pretty much any other publishers does. So the most important part, what do these taste like? I think I'm gonna try this one. Tastes tastes quite nice, this one. It tastes like something that is a little bit different, a little bit boing boing. Don't know why. I just feel it tastes a bit bouncy. I feel like it tastes like something that it'll be around. I feel like it's like something I've seen for quite some time, but all of a sudden it just kind of disappeared and it just never appeared ever again. And tastes like it needed some reprinting. Yeah, don't know what reprinting tastes like, but that's definitely what it tastes like. Not bad at all. Definitely a step up from the Viz releases. Next up, we have Cadencha Vertical, and I'm not gonna lie, these things are the absolute worst things I've ever held in terms of manga. These things are horrible. These things are probably one of the best ones. So this is Kodansha, who, let's face it, they have a lot of the other popular stuff, you know, Cells at Work, Attack on Titan, Fairy Tail, Seven Deadly Sins. And they also own Vertical, who have a little bit more niche stuff. Don't Talk With Me, Miss Nagatoro, Monogatari, and Nichijou. So what's interesting about these is that these things are just horrible. These are so horrible. Like I said, we get the whole, shiny shine, and it's the spines. Again, the spines. The spines in every single Kodansha release just look so boring. I just see them on shelves and they just look miserable. The quality is rather poor. I mean, we do get some color images, which always feel nice, but the normal pages are just horrible releases. They always feel like, you can probably see on here, they feel a little bit miscut. They just feel, I always get my hands minging. I always have to wash my hands after reading Kodansha release, because they always just get ink all over you. Yeah, horrible releases. These are amazing. These things just feel so nice. As you can see, they don't have any shine. The cover just feels absolutely really nice to the touch. I mean, it helps that Nagatoro has a lot of really nice color schemes when it comes to them, but it just feels a little bit nice. I mean, the spines, they just look lovely. They just look so nice, even on the shelf. The releases are so nice, and even you can feel just by having the paper difference is just so different compared to that. And it absolutely baffles me how they kind of have such a difference. I mean, I know a lot of the titles under the Kodansha line are kind of the cheap, the popular ones, Attack on Titan, where they're just going to spew them out and they're going to fill landfills and all sorts with these things in the future. But it's such a difference when you have these, and they just feel so nice and so incredible. All of Vertical's releases are nice. They even just pick up and hold. And if I was ever going to collect like manga seriously, I would be wanting to get Vertical releases, especially over these horrible things. Unfortunately, I've got to taste them now. And as much as that one looks nice, we all want to have some suffering, because I'm gonna eat cells at work. I feel I've tasted this before, like years ago, in like a digital form. Like it feels like there was a digital first, and it took ages to release them. Some of them never did. Some of them got picked up by other people and just released later on. But oh God, my mouth's just full of ink now. Dear God, these are horrible to eat. Nice colour pages at least. Bring on the next one. Next up, we have Yen Press, who have a number of different versions. So they have their small and simple versions, and they have their slightly bigger versions, because again, randomness. I'm sure somebody's going to correct me in the comment section, but please explain to me why there are so many random different versions. I'm assuming that it's going to come down to the magazine or the original versions. These must have been originally bigger, I'm going to assume. So Viz have some different ones. So they have around 4 different types, but I'm lazy and I'm not going to try all of them. I am going to show off with some of them though. So we have this one where it's pretty small, like you can see. Nice handheld one. Some really nice ways of doing the covers. Some nice, lovely covers. Nice looking spines, and just feel pretty nice to the touch. Very nice. Now, some of these come in, some of them, like I said, they're very shiny and feel kind of like plasticky. For example, a lot of their light novels have this. So yeah, as you can see, the whole reflection and feel very kind of, yeah, that noise. But again, the paper quality is really nice on them. It's not amazing, it's just kind of does what it wants to do. But then they also have some weird releases, and that's, for example, this one, Girls Last Tour. These feel horrible. These feel horrible to pick up. I don't know what it is. Some of their releases have this weird kind of feeling to them, and it's just horrible. It just feels horrible to the point that I'm fairly sure that I'm actually allergic to whatever it is that they put on some of these covers. And it's not just, it's not so bad when it comes to like manga, but there is some light novels, for example. The Last Dungeon Boonies, that has the same kind of cover as this, and it just feels so horrible to touch. And I don't know what it is, it just feels really horrible. But overall quality for yen press is pretty darn nice. Like I said, it feels horrible, but it's not a bad quality. It's definitely a step up from your Viz. I'd probably say it's probably around the same as 7Cs. 7Cs tend to have I feel a little bit cheaper, but these tend to be a bit more, well, yeah, nicer. So let's have a little try, shall we? Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's try this one, shall we? Ugh. Tastes like paper and cardboard. I need to go on a better diet. Yeah, it tastes kind of okay, middle of the roadish. Some really nice ones, some really not some nice ones. Yeah, very middle of the roadish. Not bad at all. I'm gonna have a break and then I'm gonna try and eat some more of these. See you in a few. Next up, we have J Novel Club. Now, these guys, I'm not gonna lie, these guys are probably my favourite ones for release and stuff at the moment. Now, this is a light novel. I haven't picked up any of J Novel Club's manga as of yet, but that will change because there's a few ones that I want. And honestly, these are perfect. The right size, the perfect size. Like I said, you're getting what, nearly 300 pages here, but it doesn't feel massive. It doesn't feel absolutely huge and bloated. It just feels nice to hold. It feels absolutely perfect. And like I said, I'm not gonna lie, I want to pick up as many J Novel Club releases as I can because these just feel so nice to the touch. The paper quality is quite nice. It's very similar to, for example, Japan's. You can see through, for example, I don't know if you can actually see there, you can probably see on there, you can see through the pages slightly, but it does feel nice, and I feel like it's more compact and just feels, these just feel nice. I want to lie in bed and be covered by these books because they just feel comfortable. They feel comfortable to hold and they just feel so nice. I'm looking forward to trying this one. Yeah, very wordy. Underrated. Underrated and wordy. Yeah, I'm running out of things to say about these. Next up, we have Dark Horse, who, I'm not gonna lie, I don't own many of their titles because, quite frankly, I'm not a huge fan of the way a lot of them look. A lot of them look, cheap, cheerful, Kodansha style, whereas others look pretty darn nice. I do like their smaller versions, like these ones. These do feel really nice to the touch. The paper quality is Viz quality, not very nice at all. I like the size of them. I do notice that they have released these. These feel completely different. I don't know if this is higher quality paper. It's like it's wider. It gives me a bit of a headache reading some of these kind of bright white ones, especially late at night. This feels quite nice compared to this one in terms of paper quality, but I do like the size of this one compared to this one. But yeah, I mean, let's face it, there's one thing you kind of buy when it comes to Dark Horse, and that is, well, let's face it, you buy Berserk from them, don't you? And they always have really nice releases. The rest of them, you know, they'll be out of print soon anyway. One thing I do want to say about Dark Horse is that I really do not like the look of their Lone Wolf and Cub and stuff like that, their releases for them. I don't know what it is, I just think they just look horrible on the shelves. They just look so cheap. And maybe it's because they're quite old and nearly every single one you do see is kind of like damaged in some way. But yeah, not amazing at all. Well, Which one shall I try next? We're gonna go for the big one, shall we? Tastes like good quality, niche, really hyped up. I've heard a lot of good things about a lot of these ones. Yeah, I can kind of see why they're so popular. I feel like I'm never going to see them ever again, though. I feel like this is my one and only chance to get them, because I'm never going to see them ever again to buy. And they'll go for, well, horrible prices on the aftermarket. Horrible indeed. Next up we have Denpa, who, well, let's face it, they're a newcomer. I do have one of their smaller ones, but I can't find it. So we are going to look at an omnibus version. I'm going to break my rule, but hey, I don't really care. They do absolutely fantastic releases. I really like the fact that they are at least trying with the covers. For example, you get a lot of nice inner covers. The paper is pretty darn nice to the touch. I mean, this is a lot nicer quality than Viz or Yen Press or anything like that. Like I said, it is an omnibus version, so it's kind of a little bit harder to tell what it's going to be like. But hey, yeah, the other one I've got, the single release Maiden Railways, was very nice just to pick up and hold as well. I really like that they've went to try and mimic the Japanese dust covers, at least in their own little way. But yeah, very, very nice release, very nice quality. Yeah, this is a thick one though. I don't want to eat any more manga. No. Yeah. Heavily delayed, but nice quality. The dust cover is a little bit hard to get down. It's all kind of plasticky and cardboardy. Otherwise, nice release. Next up we have, wow, Tokyo Pop. Now, I'm not going to lie, I don't own any of Tokyo Pop's older versions. I'm not going to lie, they were all pretty poo. But we do have this Masterpiece Edition, so yeah, yeah. It's hard to kind of judge because this is Tokyo Pop, but I'm not going to lie, this is probably one of the nicest releases I've actually got in terms of a manga. Really high quality, really, really nice release. But I know for a fact their other releases, like, you know, like Dot Hack and Love Hina and all of their other ones that they've released over the years aren't very good. To the fact that a lot of them, for example, Love Hina, I've got that stored away, but it is pretty badly damaged. But yeah, it's Tokyo Pop. Nice release. Probably one of the nicest. In fact, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the nicest manga I actually own. I'm not going to eat it. I don't want to eat it. You can't make me eat it. It's out of print. I don't want to buy an expensive American copy just for one. What are you talking about? I've got to eat it. Very nice release. Absolutely divine. The best I've eaten all. An aftertaste of just horrible, horrible decisions. Markets crashing, screwing over people, not releasing volumes and then re-releasing it as an American exclusive. Ugh. What a horrible, horrible aftertaste for something so beautiful. Ugh. Well, every cloud has a storm just hiding away, and every person is also a shrub. Ugh. So we also have Square Enix, who recently threw their hat into the ring to release some, well, manga. And I'm not gonna lie, these are pretty much identical to yen presses. Yeah, they're pretty fine as it is. I'm not going to say they're amazing, I'm not going to say they're horrible. They're just kind of run-of-the-mill. They've got a few decent titles, High Score Girl, Great Jahi, My Dress Up Darling, for example. Nice enough releases. Spines always look pretty darn okay. I mean, there's a little bit of white down the sides, but yeah, I can't really complain about it. It's kind of just an okay release. I can certainly say, oh yes, this is certainly a manga. Oh well, let's try to eat it, shall we? Okay. Badly cut. But pretty okay release. Pages taste like yen press pages. Heavily delayed. Oh god, where have them releases gone? Yeah, kind of okay. Nothing amazing, but nothing too bad. Pretty much run-of-your-mill stuff. And finally we have Udon, who, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot release volumes. I only have Izakaya Nobu from them. I believe all of their releases are more or less the same, which is good because these are really nice releases. Now, I'm not gonna lie, these cost quite a bit more than most other manga, but they do feel really nice. Like, not as nice as Denpa or J Novel Club, but in general, they just feel like really nice quality releases that a lot of care and attention has gone into them, and we're not going to get any kind of weirdly cut releases. There's no ink getting on my fingers or anything like that. It just tastes rather good, albeit a bit expensive. Each volume of these costs about £12 to £13.99, so £14 for one manga is a little bit on the premium side, especially when it's just, you know, a normal sized release. But I'm not gonna lie, what they have released really feels nice, and I really do appreciate their quality control. Well, it's the last one. Let's taste it, and then we can rank them all by tastiness. High price tag, but tastes rather nice. Not amazing, but okay. It's kind of like having a Five Guys burger instead of a McDonald's burger. Not as good as a real steak burger, but does fill the hole rather well. Really nice culture. Underrated. Underrated indeed. But, like I said, a little bit pricey for what I'm getting. Not something amazing, but not something too bad. Right, that's it for today. I hope you had a good time, because I certainly did. Except the fact I now have no manga because I ate it all. Thanks. This is what happens when you watch the best chef in the world. You eat weird things. But I'm rather full. I just don't have any more manga now. Oh well. If you did enjoy this, consider subscribing and check out some other things. I've got a lot of light novels on the up and coming, so go check them out, and yeah, we'll have a fun time. And in case people were wondering the outcome of the most important question, what is the most edible and tasty of all of the manga? Well, here is my final results. I hope you'll agree, and if you don't, well, you eat your own manga.